stop doom scrolling, grab your little craft, grab your little project, or, grab your laundry or whatever it is that you need to do, and let's coexist together while I try to fix some of my life. Hi, friends. If you're new here, my name is Odd. I'm just a worm, and welcome to my safe space. In full transparency, my life and office are kind of a disaster. The office layout just doesn't work for me anymore at all. It doesn't meet my needs. I have a hard time spending time in here because it doesn't meet my needs. And I think I can do some small adjustments to hopefully help improve that. I've been running into so many creative blocks, and this is not the time to have creative blocks when I also have all of the connections and resources at my fingertips to be able to finally succeed at what I'm wanting. Unfortunately, amongst my creative blocks includes my YouTube channel and my videos, because I've tried filming this video, several videos, again and again and again and again, and every single time I'm like, wow, this isn't what I expected. It's not what I wanted. I hate it. And while that is kind of a part of life, sometimes you just kind of have to make things that aren't the most interesting, creative, or fun. It's so hard for me to sit down and put stuff together and start editing and then realize this is not cohesive, or what's the point of this, or is this really worth all the effort of putting into it just to be I fucking hate it? I don't know. So instead of sitting down and forcing myself to produce something really magical and wonderful at the moment, I'm gonna do this first, because I feel like if I do this first, hopefully it can help me sit down and actually make other videos that I've been wanting to make. I have a notebook full of ideas. I have ideas. It's just sometimes the sitting of the down and the getting it together, and then my space just feeling overwhelmed and cramped or messy or cluttered or not right, not enough light, stuff like that. You feel me? So in order to have more interesting videos in the future, we're gonna have this one today. Okay, my phone is dying, so I need to plug it in and get it charging, and I can't charge it and use my mic at the same time, so we're just gonna get going.
Born over a fault line, bad teeth and worse habits, high heels in a trailer. If you want it, you should have it. Cracking like a glacier.
Hi, it's tomorrow. The next day, today. As you can see, I still have lots to do. I think the next thing, I wanted to start last night with trying to organize some of my stuff that I knew would be cluttered and taking up space, and that I could easily do sitting at my little desk in the living room and hanging out with Forrest and watching TV, because I am cramping really bad and I just needed to rest, right? But now I'm like, okay, I think the next best thing to do might just be move everything off the desk and get the desk kind of situated in the way that I want. I'm turning it back into an L-shaped desk. I'm going to put my computer in the corner because the layout, there's a middle piece. Oh my God. There's a middle piece right here where my computer tower is, but the bars are constantly in the way and I hit my knees on them all the time. And having to push my chair out and then back in is really hard when you have a giant dog who lays behind you constantly, and then 3 cats that also constantly want to be in your way. It gets a little difficult. However, we are working on a bit of a time crunch today, because today's Friday, are days that we typically have to go in early. And honestly, that's if Forrest can work at all. He, around I want to say 6:30 in the morning, got really sick, which he does have a chronic illness. And unfortunately for him, part of that chronic illness is just getting sick all the time. It's usually brought on by things like high stress, high fibrous foods, lack of sleep, yada yada, list of things, right? He's currently resting, and I intend to try to let him rest as much as possible. I'm gonna try not to be loud. I'm also gonna grab my headphones, I think, so I can listen to stuff. You have to charge because you're dying, of course. I am wondering if it would be prudent to actually move some of my video footage from my phone to my computer before I unplug everything and move it all around. That way I can make sure I have the most amount of space on my phone. So I think I'm gonna do that really quick. I'm gonna let you charge. I'm gonna just kind of get to it and we'll see how much progress we make today. This year has been pretty go, go, go for me so far. I changed jobs in the last year. I traveled overseas for the first time. I've been lining up multiple creative collaborations. And I definitely think I've been struggling with burnout and depression, or at least signs of both of them creeping on. And sometimes when you hit a rut that hard, it's a sign that you just need some change of scenery, a change of pace, whatever it may be. So I felt the only way to motivate myself to get back into my studio and to start creating again was to do what I realistically could. Even just moving some furniture around, cleaning some space up, and doing a little bit of organizing. While this isn't the change I want it to be, it has been enough for me to start getting my creative spark back, even if it has put me behind schedule with everything else. Honestly, I'll take it. It doesn't matter. I'm just kind of happy to have this done and be back into my office and into a creative flow again. Okay, Forrest, I'm like, I don't even know if you can see my head. Forrest's brother called, so we got a little delayed on our plans. So we're still at the house, and I've just been sitting in the chair editing a video before I realized I don't feel like doing this right now. And then I was like, I could have been using this time more wisely. So I'm going to use what time I do have, just going to take advantage of it and keep going. I really need to get this out of here so I can have room to move the desk around. She graduated college.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That makes me feel fucking
It's temporary. While I'm shuffling things around.
I just look over and there's an entire piece of furniture being moved.
Honestly, it fits really well right. I'm rearranging my office. I needed the space. I'm trying to make it more optimal, and I'm filming.
like a cabinet.
Okay, now I can just take my desk apart and put it back together in a different way. Hi, sorry. Excuse me, sweet honey boy. We're good people, and we deserve peace. Oh, in case you didn't know, look at all my tattoo equipment. It was my first ever tattoo and it was terrible. I mean, she says it's fine, but... Okay, I do think it's just this bar that comes out and those, and you just swing it this way. Yeah, easy peasy, lemon squeezy, super breezy. Today was very eventful, to say the least. I'm pretty sure I talked about this earlier, but we went to a friend's because today was her birthday, and she's having a little shindig at her house. It's also the 4th of July, and I feel like that's important to know. I personally don't buy fireworks. I don't intentionally go out of my way to watch fireworks or anything like that. I haven't in many years. But of course, there are more people than me that exist and that come out to these places. And when you're in like rural Oklahoma, it's not a surprise, right? So they were lighting off fireworks. I'm literally standing there drawing on my iPad. Like, I'm just like doing this, like drawing on my iPad, chilling, stretching my hips a little bit because I had been sitting on a bench for a while. And they're like lighting big fireworks. And I'm just like, Okay, I think I look up a couple times. I had Forrest's headphones in, even though nothing was playing, just to like help muffle the sound because I forgot to bring my loop earplugs. Suddenly, like one of the fireworks is shooting off in a different direction, and I like look up. I notice the fireworks shooting off this way, like behind some trees. And I was like, "Oh shit." And then suddenly I'm looking down and there's a firework right next to me. It like shot towards me, and I just like took my brain a second to react. And I was like, "Oh my god, I should move." So I turn and I start like kind of running to the front porch. I felt like I was running in slow motion. I probably wasn't. It's just like in the moment I was like, "I gotta get away from the firework." Suddenly there's like a child in front of me, a fire, like one of the part of the fireworks had like flown to the front porch where we were running towards. So I was like, "Child, oh no." And yeah, somewhere in there, I think when I like turned and was like running away from the first one, when it went off, it got my back and I was like, "Ow." But in the moment, it wasn't like, you know, it like wasn't crazy in the moment. Just kind of a little sting, but then it kept burning and I was like, "Oh, I think I got." And I did. It's not too bad. It's not crazy. A little uncomfortable. I'm gonna have to sleep on my right side maybe for just like a couple of days. Not a big deal. But that same firework caused a fire because we're again in rural Oklahoma, so like fields around. Luckily, the fire was on like the edge of like someone's property. It was like on the field and it was across the street from where like houses were by the street. So luckily the wind was not very strong and called the fire department right away. Everyone was like scooping water out of a kiddie pool because it like there had been water in the kiddie pool for the kids earlier that day. Everyone was like scooping water out of the pool, running it to the fire and like dumping it on the fire to help. And then the fire department got there as soon as they put the fire out. Like everyone that was there put the fire out. Once they get the fire out, of course, that's when the fire department shows up. Shout out to volunteer firefighters. But then that's the thing is it keeps going. But then it literally also, as soon as they put the fire out and the fire department got there, a huge gust of wind came in and the sky like turned basically black. The wind was like cold and strong and like the clouds were just like and it was just like black all of a sudden. And I was like, "Oh, okay. So we started a fire, I got burned, and now there's about to be a tornado." What what a day. What a day. And on top of this, we're like an hour from home, so I'm like thinking about all of our pets and I'm like, well, now we're gonna have to like wait out the storm before we can leave. And I was like, but luckily, everything was fine. It passed right over us, but it was just a crazy night. I feel so tired. I feel so exhausted. I got nothing done craft wise because I forgot to bring a crochet hook. So I drew some, I got some practice in, and that's always good. And I even made progress on a drawing for Art Fight. I think I'm gonna post about my OC page on like Instagram or like Tumblr and stuff, like my social media. Basically, aside from this video. So if you guys are interested, I'll link that. You can go, you know, interact with the post, give me your feedback, your thoughts. You can also leave comments here and give me your thoughts. I feel unsure because it doesn't necessarily feel like my style, but I'm really like playing around with experimenting because I haven't been happy with my art in quite some time because of the creative block. So I decided to use like a body base and like draw clothes on top of that. And this will help me get this done faster while also like maybe helping me work on simplifying my art. That way I can actually finish some of my work and be less overwhelmed by it. And then like actually finish art and make art and post art so I can make more art because I've started a million things that I haven't finished that I want to finish, but I just have no motivation to finish. Art block is really hard. So as I use the body base to make my character, I feel unsure about it. I think every time I use body bases, which is like, I know like why other artists and creators make them. And if I made them, I'd be like, please use it. That's what I made it for. You know what I mean? Um, However, it still kind of feels like cheating almost. And then I like, so then I'm like, well, is, is this my style? Like, could I recreate this on a different like body base that's like more realistic, right? And like adapt that into this because like if so then like sure that's probably more my style, you know what I mean? And then I'm like, am I cheating? Should I like just start this over? Should I not post this? I don't know, maybe that's me being dramatic and thinking too much about it. That's like my problem. That's exactly the thing I'm going through right now. It's like I can't stop overthinking it. And it's so frustrating. But I have a therapy appointment on Tuesday, so hopefully that will help. We'll take it from there. But I'm tired. I'm gonna go eat and watch TV with Forrest. Mars is trining Pluto. My back kind of hurts. It's hot in my house, and I still need to do a load of laundry before work, so I have something to wear to work today. So let's just fucking get going. New day, new opportunities. New day, new shit. New day, new good things. So this is the layout that I decided on for now. I'm just gonna give it a shot. Is it perfect? No. I still have to move all the furniture back in here. Hi. You're cute. Yeah, my handsome boy. Yeah, I'm so sorry. He's like, come back. I really needed out of my house. I just was like, wow, it's like dark and hot in here. And our house is at 78 degrees. And it says it'll take 2 hours just to get it down to 76. And I'm like, we normally just keep the AC between 76 and 74. And by 76, I mean Forrest keeps it at 76, and then I turn it down to 74 until he notices and turns it back up to 76. But it's too fucking hot. It's too hot. I was like, I need out of this hot box, please. Of course, I forgot my phone. And we're fighting wasps that are on the porch right now. We just can't seem to get rid of them. They've come back twice. That's fun. I was like, I don't want to get back out. And like Forrest got chased by a wasp just like coming out to the car. And then I made him go back inside and grab my phone. I didn't want to make it any more complicated by asking him to grab my mic, because I was like, I don't even know if my mic is in the mic bag at the moment. I think it is. Not totally sure though. So I was like, okay, whatever. But I needed out. I needed a break. But I brought my iPad. I'm going to sit in the car while Forrest does all the errands that we need done in the AC, and I'm going to draw. And I feel really, really happy about that because, oh my God, I was too hot. I guess I could also like use a fan at my house, because it's also hot in the car, but the car is smaller. It doesn't take as much time to cool down as an entire house. You know what I mean? So things have just been a little chaotic. I have not yet finished my office. But the thing about that is I finished like moving around all the furniture. Now I just have to like really get in and organize all of the little things, and that's taking me so much longer than expected, like it always has, of course. I've always been like, "Oh, yeah, no worries. I can totally finish that in like a day or so." No, I can't. No, I can't. It's so silly for me to think that. I had a doctor's appointment today, which I canceled because I just don't have time to go to the doctor for me to be like, "Yeah, draw my blood." And also, I think I'm developing arthritis. What can we do about that? Maybe like recommend me to a specialist. I do think that's obviously important. I also think I can schedule that for like the next week or two out, and it's not gonna like be the worst thing in the world, right? Because I have to play a little bit of catch up. But the thing is, I also desperately need to finish a few products because I have to get them up to the Oracle before they're like, "Hey, you signed this contract and then you never brought your stuff in, so we're no longer going to work with you as an artist." I'm so scared of that happening. I really hope it doesn't, but I'm scared of it happening. I need to finish some of these things, keychains, and then like print off some backing cards because I don't have any like personal ones. Honestly, I should just use the ones that are I already have. I haven't figured out the like how do people know this is me? I don't necessarily have like little tabs that I can just make. I should have worked on branding and packaging first, but like I've said so many times so far, is like sometimes you just kind of have to jump in head first before you really know what's going on and what you're doing, and then make adjustments from there. But I have to pause the office clean makeover stuff and really get to business and work on finishing some of these products because I need to get them up to the Oracle. As the date, and my water got cut off because I didn't pay my bill on time, which is stupid because I have enough to pay my bill. But now I also had to pay a fee for them to come reconnect it because it got disconnected. And yeah, very unfortunate. Really sucks having time blindness, working night shifts, and then like having just everything on my plate and also avoiding stuff because I'm overwhelmed. And now this happened. So I'm gonna go get myself an iced coffee. I would really love to be able to wash my face and brush my teeth. I'm gonna get myself coffee from Dunkin' because I can't make coffee. And then I'll come back, I guess, and we can just get stuff done. It's coffee time. I live under your eyelids. Hi, I'm here to pick up a mobile order for Odd. I have got my coffee. Yay. And now we can go back home and do productive things. I think I'm just gonna get everything I have together. I need to make one last lily pad. I'm gonna do that really quick. I'm gonna put all my stuff on the packaging I have, and then I'm just gonna run it up to the Oracle, and I'm gonna get over myself. I kind of feel like I'm gonna throw up. Maybe this isn't what I want to do. I'm like, is it because I'm anxious, or is it because it's genuinely like I want to make art, but I don't want to make physical products? I don't know. I don't know. By the time you're watching this, I did finally get the items up to the Oracle, which is a local shop that curates items from local artists that they sell in their store. If you'd like to support them, don't worry, I'll link their socials and things below so you can go check them out. I actually am going to be vending my own booth at a market that they're hosting on July 31st, 5 to 8 p.m. in Moore, Oklahoma. If you are in the area and want to drop by, I will be doing a live doodle booth there as well. I'm excited but nervous, and hopefully this will help me decide which direction I'd like to go in, art business wise, maybe, and if this is like really the right thing for me or what kind of products I do want to be making as an artist. Because this is kind of overwhelming, and honestly, like, I just don't think this is sustainable for me in a long term fashion. Even if it's been fun and I love it, and people are like, "Oh, you're good at it, and your items are so cute," like, that's great, and I really appreciate it, truly. But, like, I'm so tired, you guys, and it's so hard to get myself to do this anymore because it's just too much. I need to scale it back or change direction a little bit. But I am excited to at least get to try out this opportunity that I've been wanting to do for so long. I do think that part of that is why this decision has been so hard for me, or this like having to be realistic with myself of like, I think the things I'm making aren't necessarily the things that I should be spending my time making as far as like an art business goes, because my hands hurt, my wrists hurt, my brain hurts. Like, I just need a little bit of time to focus on some other things, and I feel like this just takes up too much of my time to be able to do that, at least while doing everything else that I have to do. And I don't know, I'm really grateful for the opportunities that I've been given this year and the collaborations that I've had and the friends who have helped me get into other places and spaces art wise. But I do think that it's time for me to just scale it back a little. It's going to be really fun to do this market. I am excited, but I'm also a little nervous because I'm like, I don't really know what's going to come of it or how I'm going to feel when it's done. Now that the room is settled enough, I think it's time that we move on to the next project. I hope you guys like making things out of trash. Okay, I'll see you next week. Talk later, friends. Oh, and don't forget, stay on.
Come on, soft, turn the key and cooler on. Push a pause for relief. Free pass, you don't even have to ask to be the cat in the sun. Someday I will see the whole